Welcome to the Please Subscribe Show. Got one of them sausages right there. All right, in 1999, a black satirical comedy directed by Mike Judge was released, premiered, and if you don't know who Mike Judge is, he did King of Comedy, or not, I'm sorry, not King of Comedy, King of the Hill. He did King of the Hill. Well, he kind of was a king of comedy. But anyway, he did this black satirical comedy by the time he was doing Beavis and Butthead movie. He set up one of the shots right here. It's one of the first shots in the movie. It stars Ron Livingston as Peter Gibbons, and Jennifer Aniston plays a waitress named Joanna, she works at a place called, it's a weird name, it's Tchotchkes. It's like a TGI Friday. Anyway, so Peter's having trouble with his original girlfriend, and she takes him to a occupational hypnotherapist played by Michael McShane, and he hypnotizes him not to care about things, like not to care about work, and not to let it pressure him so he can have a better romance. And before he can snap him out of it, the hypnotist dies. He has a heart attack and falls over and dies right there in the office. So basically, from there, Peter goes to work, and there's a downsize manager that shows up, John McGinley from Platoon. He played the Sergeant Red in Platoon. Anyway, he's real happy to meet everybody because he's basically firing people. And eventually you run into another manager he's a floor manager named Bill Lumberg, who's played by Gary Cole. He's the one that's you're gonna have to come in on Saturday and be sure to do those TPS reports. It's funny because he falls in love, well, he does, but also Ron Livingston, Peter Gibbons, falls in love with Joanna at Tchotchkes. He's afraid to talk to her at first, and then he finally starts dating her, and he finds out that she slept with Bill Lumberg, who is Gary Cole's character, basically. The other character, John C. McGinley, he plays a character named Bob Slidell, who is the manager of efficiency. He's an efficiency manager, basically to lay people off. So he begins doing that, and Peter doesn't care. He's like, just fire me. I don't care. Who gives a crap? And they like that, you know, they like the fact that he doesn't care, so they want to keep him on and like promote him and all this stuff. But he does all this crazy stuff, like he parks in the boss's parking spot. He takes a power drill and undoes the screws to his cubicle so he can push down the wall so he can get sunlight into his desk. And he's basically, you know, like just carefree, doesn't even really want to work at Any Tech is the name of the company. We're coming up kind of close to the first shot. So I think eventually it becomes intro tech towards the end, but there's another character named Milton Wadhams, played by Stephen Root, who he also doesn't, he's actually been laid off, like, you know, years ago, but there's a glitch in the payroll system, so he's still getting paid, so he just shows up, but they move his office to the basement of the workplace. And so he's the type of character, he's like, where's my stapler? I need my red swing line stapler. And what's weird, after the movie came out and everything, Swing Line made a red stapler that sold really well. And so they keep him in the basement, but yet Bob Slidell continues to basically torture him. You know, he can't give him TPS reports, but he tortures them anyway by taking away his stapler and things like that. Well, anyway, the company knows that they're downsizing, so they decide a plot. There's a character named Samir Joaquin Nanaha, or Nanajar. It's no one can remember his name, but it's Samir Joaquin Nanajar, and he comes up with a plan with the other employees, which creates a virus that goes into the accounting system. It's like a software company in Texas, and they put a virus in the program because it's basically supposed to. The program is supposed to be a banking software, and what it does is it takes a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a cent, puts it into an account, and anyway, that's the building they use in the shot. This is pretty much the shot right here. I'll try to point it out. The building is one of the buildings right there. The other buildings are over there. So what ends up happening is it gets out of hand. The virus gets out of hand, and it accumulates $300,000. So Peter Gibbons becomes kind of paranoid. So he gets all these traveler checks to pay back the company, and he sends a letter to the company. But Milton decides to burn it down, and he finds the traveler's check before he can. Or he finds the traveler checks before he can burn it down, and runs off to Mexico. One of the employees, I don't remember his name, but he decides to kill himself, but in the last minute he goes against his suicide, and the car, he tries to like basically kill himself by using the car in the garage, you know, the whole muffler thing with the carbon monoxide, and he backs up and goes all kind of crazy, and he hurts himself, so he gets in a lawsuit and sues the company for like millions and millions of dollars. Anyway, so that's pretty much one of the things, how it kind of ends. I think the waitress and him hit it off. It's one of Jennifer Aniston's kind of iconic black satirical comedy movies that she had done, and Ron Livingston's pretty good in it too, but it's pretty funny. Check it out. It's a cult classic. It made more money off VHS, like Blockbuster and stuff, than it did, you know, in the movie theaters. I think they spent $10 million to make the movie, and they made $12.2 million at the box office. It's Mike Judge. I don't know if he'll ever do a sequel. It'd be cool if he does. Get in touch with me.
You ever eaten crawfish before?
I think I've had crab, which is close.
Or what? An open up? Okay, yeah. Very So you eat all this right now?
Yeah, it's just like lobster.
right
So you
there.
know, like lobster, you mainly eat the tail.
Yeah.
And so now you got it.
So it's just the mud.
Little crawfish never hurt my body.
Yeah.
That's the building too. That was an office space. It's basically showing that building, which is the Galleria.
Station, holding hands in the moonlight like Hansel and Gretel outside the candy house. To David, the long building's green paint looked ashy gray in the moonlight.
All right, next door knock, 0.3. All right, 1.7. All right, 2.7, next one. All right, 0.6. That is definitely the teardrop trailer that Shep's in. No bigger than that at all. Yeah, right there. You can survive in that in Alaska.
My sight. I remember you, baby, each and every night.
Made out of Austin. There's information. Okay. Interesting. It's kind of a slacker drink. Let's see if their inward opens. Oh, actually, that's a no exit. That's an entrance. Patterson. They'll go for King only. They'll won't even acknowledge Patterson really. But Patterson does try. He has 200 million more than King. He's got 700 million. It's like an island. It's almost like an island. So you just go through here and you go into another neighborhood. Isn't that crazy? You can't really see it, but that's a secondary gate. So this has a secondary gate. I've never seen it before. It's like an island almost of another community. Whether this goes inward or outward, oh, it moves forward. Okay, that's important. This is like a maze of gates. It's crazy. This is the first time I've ever seen a secondary gate. So it acts almost like an island, if you know what I mean, of security. So you've got one small gated community going into another gated community. You know, whoa. I see. Looks likely for a dog. Reason why I mentioned it, because I mentioned the werewolf script and Slow Horses, and I got a Texas werewolf movie that I want to offer Oldman. But I was like, he has to listen to me because, is he knighted? And we were trying to figure out if Oldman has been knighted because there's Sir Anthony Hopkins, but is it Sir Gary Oldman? We don't know. The answer is yes. Gary Oldman is knighted. He is a knight, so he's royalty. So we'd be like peers. I go up though. That's saying they're knighted. They're knights. So knights can only do certain things if you look at a chess table. We're actually I'm a duke. I would be like a duke almost. Or would be on that level. The Spiveys go back to Queen Victoria, so we're all like dukes and stuff. So I think they're over the knights. So he'd have to bow. He actually bowed to me. Just a little slight bow. They do that. Listen, they take royalty very serious in England. They do bow to those. But listen, in America, yeah, really. He'd just be like, psh, psh. The thing about Lipton was he would know everything. He would know everything about these actors, like what kind of fruits they would eat in the backyard. If they had apple trees or some type of fruits, he would know the amount of fruit. Just things that parents would only know. But Oldman's gonna think of me as a nut. That's the bad reputation that we risked about going to the actor studio drama school and becoming a part of Inside the Actor Studio with James Lipton, because he was a bitter actor that never became the style of iconic movie star that he interviewed, like Anthony Hopkins or the people that he interviewed, Robert De Niro and all these people. He never became that. He wanted to, but he was bitter about it, and many of the students are seen as like fanatic nuts. And we are. We are. Hey, listen, there's no bigger fan out there than Bradley Cooper when it comes to movie stars. He's still starstruck about these movie stars. But Bradley Cooper actually is a huge movie star and was part of that student body. He was part of that program, even though he probably tries to keep it quiet sometimes. Yeah, these are the biggest film nerds. They're the goons of film nerds, actor studio, drama school kids. It's like, I don't even get into what it's like. It's just, it's embarrassing sometimes how big of fans these guys are. Live or die movie star nuts. Even if they became, that's what I'm saying. Even though they become a movie star, like Bradley Cooper became a movie star, he's still a nut about other movie stars. even today. He's still in awe. You know, he's still a fan, even though he's a movie star. He's on their same level. He even makes more money than a lot of the other movie stars, and he's still like a fan. You know, that's what's so interesting about him. He has not lost that sense of innocence of where he came from. You know, they never will. It's just some of them are that way. Some of them are big fans of other movie stars. They're still like starstruck. You know, it's not like De Niro and Hoffman. You know, De Niro wants to work in his own separate thing. Dustin Hoffman wants to work in his separate thing. Like they're competitive and they see each other as great. No. They're going to be in awe of the other movie star. They're going to be a fanatic of the other movie star, even though they need to be what they need to be to get the job done. Does that make? I don't know if it makes sense. So The Hit is a movie on Criterion. It's got Terrence Stamp in it. It's also got Tim Roth, one of his first films, and a guy named John Hurt, who did The Elephant Man. Stephen Frears is the director. It's an actually brilliant film. Looking that up, you might run into The Big Hit, Mark Wahlberg. Back doing Gun Fu before John Wick. He did a lot of gymnastic kind of weird stuff. I don't know if he did the stunts, and he probably didn't. But it's a like comedy almost. There's The Big Hit, that's Mark Wahlberg, and that's going to be like a woo kind of director, if you know what I'm talking about. Stephen Frears did The Hit, which is Terrence Stamp and John Hurt, right? And it's got another really amazing performance by a guy named Tim Roth, later to work with Quentin Tarantino and Reservoir Dogs, and did a Mike Leigh film too with Gary Oldman, a guy named Gary Oldman, Sir Gary Oldman. Yeah, I don't know if it's Sir Tim Roth. It might be eventually, but this is back when Tim Roth was always doing that. It was always a smile, just like Ian McGregor, but worse. It was like these shark-like teeth. Sorry about that, but it's amazing to see these guys play these criminals in The Hit. The Big Hit was Kirk Wong, but he's kind of like a woo director. Kirk Wong is his name. And yeah, those stunts had to be done by gymnasts and stuff. It's a weird one. I haven't been able to finish that. Absolutely just completely insane. All over the place. Give me a freaking break. Any art, okay, when it comes to concrete, thematic enveloping of style, Cassavetes knew what he wanted to do. First of all, the great filmmakers, and we're talking the great ones, like David Lynch, Cassavetes, Bergman, Martin Scorsese, they're not going to be concerned with the studio, although I'm going to say Scorsese's aware of it, because he knows about the golden age of Hollywood, and he's like on the level of Quentin Tarantino when it comes to his own encyclopedia of filmmaking, or films, and filmmaking process. But when it comes to style, it's going to come to confidence, knowing what you want, right? Because Lynch, and we're talking about the greatest, which was David Lynch, definitely being one of the greatest. And he worked with English actors. He worked with Anthony Hopkins. He knew exactly what he wanted, and he never steered from it, no matter if it went into someone's ear or it went into a wall socket, and the character goes into the wall socket. He knew, and when he showed up, he knew. There was no doubt. They've got him on video. So he's showing up. He's got the actors around. He's got a cigarette. He loved those American spirits. We all miss him dearly. But when he showed up, he knew. The alarm goes off at an important moment. Usually it's when I'm talking about Lynch. We're coming across traffic. Okay. So the fun with Lynch was that he knew what he wanted. Okay. So he wasn't troubled by a confusion that was outside of the knowledge of what he wanted. There's a lot of traffic out right now. But there's going to be a difference between the approach with Cassavetes and Lynch. Just like I have to lay down the thing about Godard not liking Lynch. I don't know what he thought about Cassavetes. We don't really know a lot about Godard. Linkletter might. But we know that Lynch was a painter, and so that's what he did, if you know what I mean. Cassavetes hung out with these cool people, and that's what he did. You know, he was an actor, and he hung out with these other types. He had his own little crowd, just like Bergman had his own little crowd, just like Woody Allen had his own little thing about Lynch being like it was safe. You know, the actors were safe. He worked very well with actors, even though he was a painter, right? He was the one that painted, and he saw the image from a painter. Where Cassavetes saw it more from the point of view of the actor. And fought the painting, if you know what I mean. Even though his stuff has paintings in it. It really does. He was masterful with the cinematography. Cassavetes was. It doesn't look like it, but he'd also purposely bump into the cinematographer and he was upset with the image. This could have been working with Polanski on Rosemary's Baby and wanting to bring humanity forth and not necessarily witchcraft, right? Even though Cassavetes was, you know, he worked in a cult kind of setting with Polanski on Rosemary's Baby, because that was a cult film and it dealt with witchcraft. He wanted to bring the human to the center. Cassavetes was human. Polanski, there's no, you don't sneeze at Polanski's work either, but there's a major difference, just like there's a major difference between Lynch and a major difference between Clint Eastwood, right? They're all going to have their own approach, and there's going to be similarities in all of it. There are going to be connections and similarities. The problem is, just so, like with acting, if someone went out there and pretended like they were Marlon Brando, they would pick up on that. Just like Christian Slater got deemed of maybe taking from Jack Nicholson, but yet he was still accepted as Christian Slater. So they can take style can be shared. But there was a reason for Lynch was the mysterious one, because there was a reason for his style. And that will be, for a very long time, because surreal, the dream, which they sometimes say what the film is, has to be interpreted. Here. Bottom one is for Tabitha, and the top two are for Edmund, the portion control. And he's probably a knighted, well, he is knighted, and he's better than Marlon Brando, or practically better than Marlon Brando. Well, he definitely could put him for the run of the money, especially at McDonald's, which he would probably pass on. That's actually a good one. Ben Affleck. Close. And $250,000 to $300,000 on a home. Why would you not want to protect it?
That ain't nothing. That's trailer trash in Texas now.
Well, there's $1 million in California. It's like $10 million home is average almost. Why would you not want to protect it?
You're not paying attention. You should probably to the left.
I'm going to the left, right by all the Starbucks.
Go to the left. How about you follow directions?
Why would you not want to?
I don't know.
There's got to be something. Listen, those Ring cameras can only go so far. And there's some stuff I need to look at, too. About the deals on a Ring camera as opposed
free
to
chips,
when you're monitored and it's done right.
Oh, free chips. Mexican restaurant.
The Ring is kind of gimmicky. Let me just put it that way. Houses burn down. People get their stuff broken into.
Cars on fire.
It's almost like having nothing.
Cockroaches eating your wiring.
Exactly. Especially with the Ring cameras. They have proven that cockroaches actually do track to the ring.
Ew. 2 nails, something. There she is. Oh.
We're going to split it.
Yes, we are. In that corner. Watch out for the car coming to the right.
Ring cameras are unreliable and they attract cockroaches because of the ultrasound on it. Some kind of sound thing.
Watch out for that big truck. Watch out for that Mustang. Finalize it right now, just like Chef Ramsay says.
Okay, finalize Chipotle.
Yeah.
Right.
Put me to pussy.
Holy cow, taco shells.
Hey. Oh, you fucking laughing at me? I'll make you some raps. Fucking sins and shit. Fuck that damn phone. Don't want to get you in trouble. I will meet you at McDonald's.
McDonald's is fine.
You stay there.
Okay.
I'm elevating it.
That's
My
fine.
code word.
Okay. What about frijoles? They got to be halfway decent. Frijoles?
Well, close at 9. They're individual fucking Mexican.
Well, it might be a possibility, or McDonald's is fine.
I see they're hiring at Mod Pizza.
Mod Pizza?
So they lied. Post it. It's okay. I used to work at McDonald's 2.5 years ago. So they lied.
Wonder why.
Yes,
Says
they didn't
dining
have
room,
enough co-workers. They actually almost paid me more than this damn stupid job.
No, because she's probably trying to take care of her family and do her thing, and you're going off on hairnets.
Oh, yeah. No.
Talking about hairnets.
Yes, I worked at Chipotle. You had to wear a hairnet and slick your hair back. That's what the Hispanic people told me. And now a black person can get away with it with a bunch of braids flying all over the place? No, that's not civilized. So yeah.
I don't know.
I'm
I didn't
jealous.
always wear a hairnet.
Hairnet?
Hairnet when I worked at Wendy's. I didn't really like it. It made you feel like you're
That
in a
was
factory.
not at the time.
No, I know you wear your
It's
hairnet.
understanding
I know
it's
you wear your
You
hairnet.
have to. And Cece doesn't wear one at work.
That'd be a heck of a hair to find, though. You know what I mean? Like, I found this hair. It's about 6 feet long, and it's curly.
Oh, we're Carolyn Appleby from I Love Lucy. You're missing your glasses.
You're talking about hairnet issues. It could be a problem.
No, I'm putting this to emphasize of I Love Lucy. Carolyn Appleby. I want to see all the movie stars lose her glasses as she cuts it off.
What are you talking about?
Her glasses. That's around her neck.
You know the thing about Lucille Ball? You know what happened to her? She worked at a place serving food, and it was called ice cream. She did not serve the bananas in a banana split. They got rid of her. Guess what? She became Lucille Ball. Yeah. They did get rid of her. She would not serve the bananas in a banana split. This has actually been documented. You read about it in a vlog. In one of our vlogs at the library in Dallas. You're keeping the ramen noodle in there. It doesn't matter who you give to. Now, the rich don't need it, but they need to learn charitable actions.
Car fire.
People can give to whoever they want, right? And you can give your time, you can give your service, you can give information, you can give love, and you can give wealth. You can even give health, ideas on health or help. It doesn't matter, rich or poor on that, okay? The money kind of does, because people that have to stand there like that, they do suffer. And it is okay. God looks at tithing.
When you give to the poor, that is a form of tithing. When you give to it, doesn't matter the amount sometimes, because the heart is there. The issue of giving, it takes from that person, right? It's a risk sometimes in some cases. But when you give, God looks at that as a version of tithing. And you do want to have tithing in your life. Now, tithing stands for tenth, and that's a term used in the church or the temple. It's a tenth, right? And you do want to find a way to faithfully give that tenth away. Not in gambling. Doesn't count in gambling. And they're like, oh, I'm giving to the state. Well, yeah, there's ways to give to the state because the state does have programs. There's also ways to give to the poor. I've been told this in church by other members of the church. You can give to the poor. That's like giving to the church. And you know when someone's poor, right? So it does count as a charitable act. That's where our heart needs to be. Now, McDonald's is okay. I do try to avoid McDonald's sometimes. Whataburger, I would probably choose over McDonald's. Whataburger is a southern company. McDonald's is huge. Okay? I'm not talking about...
See, you see that?
I know,
okay?
I know.
Hey, y'all.
I know.
I want to ask you. You say,
I know, I got it from South Park. Right. It's like those people that fart and smell their farts. What are they called? Smug. It's when they're smug. You don't want to be too smug about it. Okay? So if you see that someone... I do that. If you see someone is in trouble, you can tell when they're hungry. You can give to them. And God looks at that as tithing, and you are rewarded. Okay?
Okay.
It's hard to do. It's hard to give. It's hard to be charitable. But the principles to life is found in faith, hope, love, and charity. You're going to find the principles in faith, hope, love, and charity in the name of Jesus.
Same thing.
In the name of Jesus.
Barbecue.
It's done in the name of Jesus, not in the name of fame or in the name of
joy and love.
It's in the name of Jesus. It's in the name of Christ.
Speaking of that, we're going to buy...
The world won't reward you, but God will.
Reward you.
You'd rather be rewarded by God than the world. What is a man if he gives his soul and doesn't have God? You're nothing without charity. You have to understand the difference between love and charity. Love is important. Charity can save lives.
Hi, kitty. Remember, it's time to share for the outdoor kitty. Alright, I'm gonna probably watch this one. I liked it better than The Batman. It's got Affleck in it. Plays a really good version of Batman. It's a pretty good one. Here we go with today's kitty. 1 kitty and 9 lives. Each life has a number. Numbers 1 through 9. Swirl the cat food. And pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having Fancy Feast Gravy Lovers. Salmon and Soul Feast and Gravy. What will tomorrow's kitty be? There we go. That's a good kitty. I'm gonna try out some of this stuff. Spinach artichoke. I don't know. I might mix up with this. Cut this up. It's avocado. Cut that up. Some of this. Some protein. And you might have mushrooms. But you do have some of these. There's some of that. You want to make sure you have a bright color on the greens.
You can do it any way. You can really put any type of vegetable. I like mushrooms, but I don't always have them. I do try to do onions, all that kind of stuff. That's spinach, a little bit of tuna, mix in some of those carrots. These are 4 finished screenplays, pretty polished off. Grace, Deep on Ellum, Escape from Maine, and The Projectionist. I've got more than that. I've got up to maybe 20 or 30, maybe more than that. They're completed in different forms, but this is what I have that's pretty good. I'm reworking this one right here to simplify it a little bit. Where's Kitty? I can't see Kitty. Oh, there he is. He's in his little tube. He's in the kitty tube.
$34.99.
Now that's a funny kitty.
I can show you.
Oh, he actually exercised.